But here it is, the new sign with commas.
Maddie's so upset.
Yeah,
So now it is no grit, comma, no grind, comma, no greatness, period. Instead of no grit, period, no grind, period, no greatness, period. They put 2 commas in there. How do we feel? People?
I'm shocked. I'm shocked because this was so roundly laughed at.
Did bullying work?
No, not really.
Hey, they're the Toronto Maple Leafs. They should know better. Are you kidding me? Are you unaware of yourself that much? And by the way, the answer was yes.
Yeah.
But the guy in charge is gone now.
No.
So commas are it's capable.
Bullying worked. We did this. We made fun of it enough that they changed it.
I think there's enough time between then and now to say that we have heard that some of those post-Panthers podcasts ruffled feathers.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah, specifically the sign in there. Like that's what it was. So
yeah. And it didn't. Whatever.
No.
We're the reason you're getting
criticized. Is this better?
Bullying works.
Is this better?
This is better.
Yes.
I'm surprised they kept it. Like you are essentially keeping the same damn thing.
They probably didn't want to shell out for a whole new sign. It's probably pretty expensive. I mean, this is Rogers after all, right? I mean, like it's like, do we have to spend that kind of money?
Just make it say Rogers.
If you look at the periods, they just added the little thing to the end of the period, so it's like a little line of paint.
Yeah,
to make it a comma. Sorry, it's a period.
You know how
into
there's
a comma.
You know how there's a Ted Rogers statue outside of Rogers Center?
Yes.
Yeah.
How long before we get an Ed one outside of Scotiabank Arena?
With him standing with his own statue is going to be surreal. That guy's like very alive.
Will he be on Legends Row?
Imagine.
He's like,
Oh man.
I want to say he's because I'm in the middle of reading the Rogers versus Rogers book. You already read it.
Yep.
Isn't he like in his 40s?
No, he's in his 50s, 60s now.
No, he's not in his 60s. No way. No, he's like shockingly younger than I thought.
Ed Rogers
Easy
III is 56.
Oh, what the fuck? All right, never mind. That's still younger than I thought. He's put it this way: he's going to be able to pose with his statue if he makes one.
You better. I hope he doesn't.
No, I like
To be fair,
listen.
his dad did pass
Yes.
before they erected the statue, so maybe he won't.
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, please don't put yourself on Legends Row.
Listen,
Him next to like Gilmore.
that'd be crazy.
Imagine.
Just coming over the boards.
Yeah.
Hand over,
like
like
he was on the team.
he's like
Holding a cell phone plan?
hand over Turk Broda's shoulder.
Like, oh my god.
Me and the T-Dog, T-Broads, as I called him.
Yeah,
No, it's scary because you can see it happening.
this is pressure.
Yeah.
This is pressure. Like that slogan puts pressure on you because if you win, you look unreal. If you lose, you look like a fucking
if you
idiot.
go out the way they did, and listen, a lot of
Yes.
people point to it, and I think it's.
You lost 6-1 in Game 7.
I think people say it's
On home ice.
slightly unfair. The and I don't want to pick on here, but the clip of Mitch Marner pulling his helmet off, dry hair, telling the bench to wake the fuck up, and then putting that slogan the next day or the next week next to it, it didn't play well.
No, well,
It doesn't play well.
They didn't put the slogan next to it. That was just us in the room being like, "Hey, look at what they have."
Well, they
on the
did put
wall."
the slogan there. Did you guys paint the slogan? Was that the media?
No, but the slogan was there before. It's not like that happened and then.
Yeah.
it was just circumstance of like we saw it after.
And they should have put a cover over it.
I'll give you an example.
No.
I'll give you an example of a team slogan making you look really fucking stupid if things go badly.
Give it to me.
The Blackhawks were the dynasty Blackhawks. They had won 2010, 2013, 2015. And if I'm not mistaken, 2016, their slogan was one goal.
Oh, I know the answer to that.
Because they had one goal, and that was to win the Stanley Cup.
This is great.
Yes.
And then first round, Nashville shuts them out in almost every game.
I think they had like one goal.
They had one goal, I think, heading into Game 4.
Yeah.
Which is...
That's outstanding.
No, you won 3 cups, no one gives a shit. But people were like, nah.
That was good. That
For
was
anybody who's
good.
not aware, this room where the sign is, that's their film room. So like there's a bunch of like lazy boy chairs kind of.
I don't even know where this is.
They all sit and watch film in there. It's at Fort Performance. So yeah.
Hey, okay.
Oh, it's that room.
Yeah, that's the yeah. So Jesse,
it looks very
let's
different.
talk about Craig Berube is a funny guy. And his quote, he said, "I'm excited not to hear the words core 4 anymore."
Yep.
Can we talk about that context? Because I think everybody agrees with him. We're all done. James Myrtle has been floating key 3 as a potential, which I love, by the way. Shout out
Wait,
to
who are
James.
the 3 though?
Well, I think it's Matthews, Nylander, and Nyes.
Oh.
Hey, because it can't be JT
So
anymore.
we're kicking Tavares out.
Well,
He doesn't make enough.
nobody performs enough.
Does Nyes?
Well, Nyes makes almost double what Tavares makes.
Yeah, but is that enough to where we're yelling key? What is it? Key
I'm
3? That's funny, Myrtle.
Key 3.
That's funny.
I present to you the blue 2.
Yeah.
Nylander, Matthews. Yeah,
There it is.
The $10 million
That's better.
plus guys.
The
okay.
blue 2.
Actually, the $11 million plus guys. Yeah. Okay. All right. So what was your takeaway from? Because I've got a bunch of the clips here, or not the clips, the quotes here that you have. But that one in particular I want to ask you about because this is the turning of a chapter, and we've talked about that all summer, and it's annoying and boring. But it was annoying and boring talking about the core 4 for so many years. So at least it's something new. Do you get the sense that there was relief from basically everybody in the room?
That was the first thing they got out there through their answers. The first thing anybody asked about, but it was also the first things Treliving and Berube alluded to is this thing's going to be different. We're missing Mitch, and they said it a number of different ways. And Treliving a couple of times repeated himself, we lost 1 player, but I brought in 3. So it's going to be different. I think they got ahead of the narrative that, hey, we all recognize there's a giant piece of this team that's gone now. But we're now here at training camp. It's about these guys who are now here to try and win their spot in the lineup and move forward and try and fill in those gaps. I think it's the most important narrative on day 1 of camp is we're different because we don't have Mitch, and now everybody's got to fill in and plug in those holes. And he's talked specifically about how Mitch played on the penalty kill and the power play.
Yes.
And he was a defensive help at 5-on-5. So there's a lot of places where a lot of different people on this team have to fill in.
Yep.
Interesting.
And
we knew.
But it's important for them to say it.
It's important to reiterate.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't think anyone is suggesting anyone suggesting replacing Mitch Marner is going to be easy is wrong.
No.
Well, Treliving said that. He said, I'm still looking, but it's a slow summer.
He's a fantastic 100 or flirting with 100-point player. Kills penalties on the power play. One of the greatest playmakers in the league. He's got a killer shot when he actually uses the damn thing.
He does. So does Jack Eichel. That'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, willing to block shots.
Yep.
Like he does a little bit of everything.
Yeah, and I think
he does a lot of everything.
you say it too as the GM and coach so that we can move on from it.
Yes.
Because if you don't acknowledge it, then it's a thing. So you come out and you be very upfront about we no longer have Mitch Marner. Let's all move on. So it was good to hear them. This is the first time I've been to one of these since the summer. So it's first time back for me and listening to the coach talk. And I think this is the first time they've talked since July or whatever. So it's good. The first time we see you, new year, we lost him. We know that was the summer. Let's move on to the guys who are in this room.
Can I give a little bit of a correction for my Blackhawks thing?
What is it?
Okay, so it was 2017.
Oh, that team's...
So it was the Weba.
One trade.
It was the next year.
Wow.
It was It was the next year. Sorry, it's my Italian coming in. 2017.
Chief Wiggum.
No, it's lower.
It's Buck Martinez.
The Blue Jays.
Sorry, that's
Get up, ball.
Vladimir Guerrero hit
on the
4 out of
Yankees
his last
suck.
5 plate appearances. And get up, ball. Get up.
Anyway. The 2017 Chicago Blackhawks with the slogan
Electric content.
1 goal. Slogan 1 goal. Game 1, they lose 1-0. Game 2, they lose 5-0. Game 3, they score 1:05 in.
Whoa.
They get a 2-0 lead,
Dynasty back on.
blow it, lose in overtime.
Ah.
And then in game 4, Nashville had 4 goals and Chicago had 1 goal.
Ah.
3 goals in 4 games. That's great.
That is what happened.
Okay, great. Let's get to. I'm kidding.
Adam's done with your story.
Wow.
I'm giving you shit.
Adam's fucking done with this story.
That was payback for my Blue Jay stat earlier.
It was.
The damn that's crazy.
Yeah,
it was a damn that's crazy.
Yeah, that correction was not needed, but thank you.
I got ahead of it.
Yeah, because the comment section.
That wasn't 2016, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, we all knew that.
But Sod for Panarin was. Treliving also got out of the way that they're not looking at signing Dylan Dubé, which has been out there.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. He said.
Oh.
He said you have to be very comfortable. That hasn't been the focus for us, and you'd have to go through a process to see if you're comfortable.
He talked a lot about how it's not just bringing in a guy. He acknowledged, I should say, that it's not just signing a player. There's a bunch of due diligence that would go into bringing in one of these players that were involved in this.
So if I can do a little aside, I don't understand the idea of the Leafs signing Dylan Dubé at fucking all. I don't get it at all. So let's pretend there's no baggage there whatsoever. The general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs acknowledged there is an abundance of baggage. Well, the court said, stop. The GM just said it. Stop acting like this is just any other free agent. He's very thoroughly not. And neither are the other 4 guys either. There's an enormous firestorm that comes with entertaining any of these 5 people. And to say that there isn't is just blissful ignorance. Ignoring that, he has 7 pro goals in his last 85 pro games, half of which are in the KHL. He's 27, so like this isn't a guy in his early 20s who's going to get way better. I saw people like, oh yeah, big body, he can bang and crack. He's 5'10" or 11, 185. So you're talking about a fictitious person.
You're fired up.
That's Max Domi.
No, because people are like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I saw people go, yeah, he's great. He'd be a great depth. Based on what?
And they also have 40 million
Based
depth
on
pieces.
what? Why are you moving heaven and earth to go out and get a forward who hasn't been a quality NHL forward for 3 years?
Because I think in this
fuck are you
market,
doing?
signing one of
40-point
those
guy,
guys
Max?
would be like moving heaven and earth.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get it in the slightest. Why? Please no. Please God no. Heavens to, don't you already have too many forwards? Fuck no. Please no.
Can I tell you what I think happened? I don't think Darren Dreger's reporting was wrong.
I don't either.
If it was Darren Ferris, the agent, who it's not, I checked. Darren Ferris regularly uses Toronto as a, let me stir up interest in my client.
In fairness to Darren Ferris.
Every agent does.
Which has never come out of my mouth. Every agent uses the Leafs for that purpose.
And that's fair. It wasn't him. I think that the Leafs, because it's been told to me, so there's a lot of GMs out there that won't call everybody. Remember we talked about that?
Yes.
I was like, that is mind-blowing. What do you mean the agents make these trades?
I do like part of my job.
Brad Treliving, from what I've heard, is somebody who will call everybody. He's a tire kicker, a big-time tire kicker, just to see, because he likes to know. And you could see that he's a pretty affable guy. Most people would get along with him. So you can see how that's the case. Not every GM's like that. Some of them are a little snarly, and so I do think the Leafs looked at all 5 of these players, as any team has the right to do.
They were
and
5,
and go, hey, do any of these people fit us? And then you bring in your PR staff and you go, so what's that look like? And you talk to the president of the organization, Keith Pelly, who is a media background, and you go, hey, Keith, how do you think Sportsnet, TSN, and all the myriad other sports networks are going to handle a story like this? And then you fire it upstairs to Rogers, and you ask them, hey, what would... And I think everybody else would say, even if you think they might be worth it, that guy better be Wayne Gretzky. And I think that they looked at it, and they said, and the agent was like, see, they're looking at us. And that's how the insiders find out, and that's fine. And then the Leafs' internal staff took over and said, not a fucking chance, man.
Yeah.
And I think that is how you come to a good decision when you have a good organization.
Yeah, and it's that they look at, if there's 800 skaters available to be signed, the Leafs have looked at 799. Like, they look at every single player. So if somebody reports that they've looked at a guy, it's not untrue. Yep. Like, I believe they looked into the fit for Dubé in the lineup, but that doesn't mean they're going to take those steps to signing him. I think you outlined that perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now I will say this: maybe they do. Maybe I'm eating my words. But for Brad to come out and say, "Yeah, we're not going to do that,"
he said we're not focused on that.
We're not focused on that right now. That is
he never said like we'll never do that. He said right now we're not focused on that.
Okay.
Not to mention that you cannot sign any of these guys till October 15th.
Yes.
They can't play in your lineup till December 1st. Would you do this for your regular like fifth line NHL player?
Matthews, who will play with Matthews on the top line? Berube mentioned two names specifically. They're going to give Matias Michelli first line minutes next to Matthews and Nyes in training camp somewhere.
Sure.
They're also, I think he fits better with Tavares Nylander, and they're going to try him there. The other name they brought up was Max Domi, who is not going to be a full participant in camp, Jesse.
Yes, he tweaked something in the lead up to camp, so in the last like week or so, doing his little training, and he won't be there tomorrow when things get underway, and he's day-to-day right now. They expect him to be ready for the season, but it's day-to-day on his injury.
That's really unfortunate, especially because like he would be my odds-on favorite to play on Matthews right.
There's a giant opportunity for this player, and this injury could not have come at a worse time.
Right.
Really could not have.
Knowing Max and seeing what we saw last year in the playoffs, and Berube outlined this a couple weeks ago where he's like, he needs to take care of the puck. There's some things I need to see growth in his game.
Yes.
I feel like Max Domi is not going to let that slip.
So, Adam,
I really believe
that's
that.
actually my worry because remember in November when
he was hurt?
awful?
Yeah, because
he played hurt like basically the entire time.
Because Matthews was already out.
They need to mind their P's and Q's with this player. You know the meme, I just became really important at work and it's ruining my life?
Yeah.
Max Domi just became really important at work, and I hope it doesn't ruin his life because the Leafs need him.
That's a really good point. Like, you don't want him playing through stuff because he's like, I have a first-line opportunity, so he needs to also manage his injury enough so he's healthy when they need him most.
Marner was your best playmaker. Matthew, sorry.
Shelley?
You would,
Austin?
No, I meant to say Max Domi. I just said Matthews for some reason. My tongue went into business for itself. Max Domi, there was an argument he was number 2, right? I mean, William Nylander exists, but like it.
John Tavares.
If you talk about pure playmaker, Domi's 2.
And I loved him with Matthews, and I think you put those three on the same line, no one touches Austin all year.
I mean,
what defenseman? Because Max is crazy. And
He
that's
is
a compliment. He's crazy.
Yeah, a good crazy.
Good crazy until not. Like there are some penalties where you go, Max.
Oh,
Yeah,
Max.
I forgot about those.
Yeah, but what defenseman isn't looking over their shoulder when that line's out there and
he's
the puck
nuts.
goes into the corner? He's nuts. Matthew Nyes is huge and unafraid of anybody.
Here's the great thing if you're Matias Michelli. If you lose out on the first line job, also know you didn't. Because Max Domi is going to spend a significant amount of time not on the ice because
I
he's in
think
the box.
That's one of the things Berube would want to clean him up on.
Yeah.
And with Michelli, I think it's a better fit with Nylander Tavares. Because those guys both, I mean, how many goals did Tavares have last year? 38?
They're in that neighborhood.
Nylander had 45.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So there's a guy who needs a rebound season, and all he's got to do is feed those two animals. That's a great spot for him. And not the pressure of the Matthews line.
Be a good defensive player because wherever you think Nylander is going to be, he's going to be north of that because he's going for a breakaway.
Sometimes night dependent. Sometimes he comes back.
Yeah, other times he's just going to go, ugh.
Now, I want to move on to this, Jesse. What did Brad tell you about the Anthony Stolarz extension? And then I want to expand on that.
How long is it? How much money?
He is very hopeful that something's going to get done. He had nothing to announce at the moment, but he thinks that they're in a good place and they're going to get something done.
Now, Darren Dreger did what we did a couple weeks ago, which is how much money would you pay for Anthony Stolarz and how long? And from what I understand from the CJ show lineup, which I got to see this morning, CJ will have more on this, so this information might already be outdated. But as at the time of you listening, but Darren Dreger put out 2 names that are contract comps for Anthony Stolarz, and I wanted to know what you guys thought.
Bobrovsky.
Okay? Not Bobrovsky.
Hellebuck.
Not Bobrovsky. So the first one is a Steve favorite. Karel Vejmelka, 29 years old, $4.75 million. This is the first of a 5-year pact. So 5 years, 4.75. That's about $23 million over the course of that time.
Continue.
Okay. The other one is one of my favorites, Kevin Lankinen, who has signed a 5-year contract, starts this year, year 1, $4.5 million. So
4.5 by 5.
4.5 by 5.
I think we've been saying 5 times 5.
And 4.75. And I think that might be the hitch in the giddy up.
I'm shocked these numbers don't start with a 5.
Yeah, me too.
But I think that's where the Leafs are at. And I think Stolar's number is a 5. I think if they get to 5,
I think it might be higher than that.
Hey, remember this? Remember Tavares is like, if they just get the thing leaked out. If they just got to 5, if they just got to 5,
4.3.
the deal's done. The deal's done. And they go to 4-3. Now, some of that is
Shenanigans that are going to be illegal soon.
Yeah, but not illegal yet.
Not illegal yet.
If the Leafs sign Stolarz to $5 million by 4 years, I'm fucking happy.
But why
Very
should
satisfied.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Why
there you
should they? This is a guy who has never started more than 35 games in a season. If I'm Brad, I'm going, okay, I love you.
Yeah.
And I think you're great. But let's not forget that you've had both knees reconstructed. You missed 8 weeks last year. You got injured in the playoffs. That's not his fault.
Yep.
I think that the injury question keeps that 5 to a 4.
I think Stolarz is worth a $500,000 bet. If the Leafs are at 4.5 and he wants 5, and or whatever that number is, if it's 250K or whatever it is, I think he's shown enough where you want to make that bet on him and lock him up and not risk losing him, or that number going up depending on how well he plays this season. So for me, if I was in the GM seat, I'm happy with 5 because that number to me is only going to be better value as the years go on and he plays for this team.
I just think we're getting a sense of how the Leafs are negotiating now.
Totally.
And they're being kind of tough about it.
Good. The Vejmelka comparison and the Lankinen comparison get me very happy and excited because the contract I saw that went, oh, like I just was like, this is going to screw everything up, was Spencer Knight. Because that's a guy who just doesn't have a ton of leverage. You haven't really
What do you
played
mean
very
he doesn't
much.
have a ton of leverage? They traded for him, and Chicago sucks.
Yeah, okay. So your leverage...
He has all the leverage in the world.
Your leverage is they traded for you and Chicago sucks. You also don't have very many games played. And you still have RFA years. Like Stolarz he's done this for 2 straight years.
Yeah.
And he's a UFA.
I think if you look at the contract Chicago has signed over the last couple of years, that is how they got to that number with Spencer Knight.
We haven't said the number yet. Spencer Knight signed for $5.83333 million for 3 seasons.
He's also a very good goalie. But let me just say this, guys.
he looks like it, but there's no guarantee. I think it's going to work out with him, but there is absolutely no guarantee.
I'm on Steve's side in that I don't think he's worth 5.8 right now.
And I think that the problem for the Chicago Blackhawks is they've been bad for so long that they then remember when the Leafs traded for Jonathan Bernier and had to sign him to a ridiculous contract, Steve, and everybody's like, what the? But he held all the cards. They had traded assets for Jonathan Bernier, which I think was like a 1st or a 2nd round pick plus Ben Scrivens. And
it was Scrivens, a 2nd, and Fratton.
And he was making $4.5 million 10 years ago.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm
and
telling
they
you.
already had Reimer.
Yes.
Of all the positions, like the one
Damn thing that got you to the playoffs was goaltending.
Yeah.
And you upgraded your goaltending.
Yes.
I'm going to fight you.
So I'm just saying. I think they're in a good place. I don't think those numbers are that far off. And I think the Leafs need a 4 in front of it. I think that's
That'd be nice.
I would
love that.
kill for that.
Yeah,
Well,
I
didn't we
think-
say with the same with Tavares?
No, shoot for the moon. Like if you get that 4 point whatever, I'm ecstatic.
Easton Cowan, Jesse.
Yeah.
So they really just kind of left us hanging. They're like, is it this October or next October?
They said we're going to training camp. Everybody's fighting for a spot. Whether you're I think he said whether you're 20 or 25, if you're good enough to make this roster, you're going to make it. So they left the door open for him to make the team, and he's just going to compete for a spot.
And it's 2025.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, there's probably 1-2 spots up for grabs, really. He hasn't been mind blowing enough for you to be like, he needs to be in the. I think he'll play games for the Leafs this year. I just don't know if it's going to be right at the beginning of the season.
His comments, I think Josh Chloe put together an article for The Athletic talking about how Easton understands he's got to change his game because he was lighting it up in junior, but they think and he thinks that scoring touch is not going to translate to the game in the same way. So take care of the defense first.
Yes.
Take care of the puck first. The scoring will come because he does have that touch.
Well, and those are the roles you're going to get. And that is what has held back Leafs prospects in the past. I'll give you two really good examples. Two guys who were early-ish round picks, prolific scorers in junior, prolific scorers even at the minor league level. And then when a roster spot came up, it's on the fourth line, and you just don't have much to offer in that role. Josh Levo is, and I think always has been, an NHL player. I think he could come from the KHL right now and play in the NHL and be totally fine. But one thing he never really showed in the NHL is I can be an adequate depth player.
Yep.
Nick Robertson. He can't play on your fourth line. He can't. That's not in an ideal world. No, in November, if someone's hurt, sure.
He's wasted.
Yes. They found a role for him on a third line that scored, but that's not.
They weren't confident in that line.
That's not what a Stanley Cup final third line does, really. That wasn't the primary function of the Panthers' third line. It was capable of it, but
that's why you have Nick Waugh.
Yeah, its main thing was
that's
to
not his
screw
thing.
with you. Yeah, that's a third liner.
So
that's what you want there. So
I'll give you a good
Cowan
one.
doesn't want him. It doesn't want himself to find himself in that situation.
Can I give you one more and see if you agree with this?
Well, sure.
Young Nazem Kadri.
Yeah, that's not bad.
It wasn't until
That's not bad.
Bab showed up, and Mike Babcock and Nazem Kadri, once they showed up and really ironed out his game. Now, he was a full-time NHLer before that, but he was all offense. And
got ripped on. Dallas Eakins is you're in bad shape. you're not good at D. You need those things.
And once he started to do that, and his lowest scoring year was that year where Babcock took over, the team was the worst in the league, and he figured it out and became extraordinarily valuable after that.
Yeah,
but it took him a few years.
Yeah, but it was you're our first line center, and we're going to crazily overburden you with everything.
The best players in the league.
And now we're going to push you down the lineup, and you're going to murder everyone in your path. Because you played against first line competition all year last year, and now you're playing third.
Yep.
And if they choose to play you hard, guess what? Austin's open.
Yep.
That's what made that team click. Cowan's he's going to be in the NHL. He's going to have a fine NHL career. He doesn't need to make this team out of camp. I think learning on the Marlies would be a good thing.
Jesse, one thing that stood out to me was the Morgan Rielly thing. I'll read the quote. He's a big piece for us. Getting Morgan Rielly back to the level he's capable of will have a big impact on our team. And I guess they had a conversation which Rielly appeared to, is it take to heart or taken to heart?
Yeah, he was very honest about talking with Morgan at the end of the season, I guess a little bit over the summer, about how they think his game can be better than it was last season. I think everybody who watched the Leafs consistently can see that. Morgan Rielly wasn't what he can be. And I think he struggled mightily under Craig Rube's system. We saw that. And he admitted it in one of the interviews. I think it was with Jonas Siegel. He did in the middle of the winter. And then that adjustment was made for the playoffs, and he had a decent playoffs. And now over the summer, they were very complimentary of his summer work and the work he put in every summer. And I think it was Treliving who said that there wasn't many days over the course of July and August that Morgan wasn't at the practice facility working. So he's been really trying to get back to what they think he can be. So I think that's going to be something to really watch in the opening parts of the season, the first couple of months, is Morgan going to grow into, he's he's not a young player at all, but
No.
we saw last year.
He's not old.
He's not old either. Like, he's not 35. It's not done for him. We saw last year that his game can be tighter. There
Yes.
are ways he
Yes.
can be a little better than what he was. So I feel like that's something to watch, and he's worked on it. So we'll see if now he can deliver on it during the season.
Tighter without sacrificing like a ton of offense.
Yeah.
He was better the previous season. He had 58 points in 72 games. He only had 41 in 82 last year. That's pretty damn good. I know he was in a cushy role with the power play and everything, but like he was on the second unit most of the time. By the end of it, he did well in the playoffs. But the one thing I think people forget about Morgan Rielly, he's 6'1". It's not huge. It's fine in the NHL. He's 225. That is a big fella. And there is room for Rielly to turn into, and he can skate real well. There's room for Rielly to turn into exactly the type of player that Craig Berube loves.
Yeah, and he struggled with the idea of staying in his defensive spot, but also wanting to be a little bit of an offensive defenseman, because that's where a lot of his skills are, right? You rattle off the points, they're very impressive. And he hasn't learned under Craig Berube how to balance that. But when can I leave and do my offensive thing, and when should I stay in your system and stay where I'm supposed to be? So hopefully this year he's just more comfortable and knows how to keep his game ready offensively and also play hard-nosed defense that Berube wants.
And I don't think people understand, we got to replace him in the aggregate. For some reason, Moneyball came up on my TikTok this morning. But the Leafs have to find a way to replace the playmaking of Mitch Marner. Your D are allowed to be a part of that, and number one candidate is Morgan Rielly.
Absolutely.
Totally.
Absolutely.
So green light Morgan.
I was
this
tough as
season.
hell on him at the end of the season, and it's nice to hear that the Leafs organization saw what I think a lot of us saw.
You weren't wrong to be. That's the thing.
I said they should trade him, though. At least they're probably they're a little more level-headed about it than I am.
But like your sentiment in that you are not playing well leads to like trade him. I want assets that are playing well, but like your first thought of like he's not doing well, you're correct in that.
You are correct. I would say replacing him is really, really, really hard.
Yeah,
With the cap going, you weren't doing it in free agency.
What do you say about hard trades?
that's what their fucking job is. How much money they get paid? Oh
not
yeah,
my
it's
job.
$5-6 million. Oh man, is it hard for you?
Well, I'd like-
Oh shit.
I'd
That's
like
crazy.
to know. I'd like to know a good Morgan Rielly trade.
Well,
That's not my job.
Here's the it's also not my job, but it is my job because I love to speculate. I
Yeah.
will tell you this: he wouldn't waive his no trade anyway, so it's not.
well, that's what I was. I was gonna wait for you to lay out a good trade for 5 minutes. Here's what we're gonna get. Here's how it's gonna work out. And I was gonna smack that idea in a puddle and go, I refuse.
Here's the other
because that's what he does.
Here's the other reason I
can
was
do.
wrong on the you must trade him, because what I said was you must find a way to move on from this guy. It doesn't work in this system. I don't know if he's had it. I also know that the number they're paying him was too high at the time, is still too high.
7.5
Is still too high.
with the cap going up.
Based on what we got last year, still too high.
All
If he's capable of being a 50-point guy again, 50 points. That's $7.5 million. That's great. But Luke Hughes is a 40-point guy, and he's younger,
And going to get
and is going to get
significantly more.
Jake Sanderson cap percentage, not Jake Sanderson dollars. He's going to get more money than Jake Sanderson, and he's done it longer than Jake Sanderson did. Luke Hughes is going to be the only Hughes brother to get paid properly on their second contract,
Crazy.
and he's going to make 8.5. I bet. That's my money is on 8.5.
Yeah.